Every morning for 3 years, Owen woke up already behind. Not because of the time. Not because of the alarm. But because the first thing Owen did every single morning, before he sat up, before he drank water, before he looked at the sky, was check his phone. And the phone always had something waiting for him. A message from his boss sent at midnight. A problem from yesterday that had not gone away. A reminder of something he had promised and not yet delivered. By the time Owen's feet touched the floor, his heart was already racing. By the time he reached the bathroom, he was already planning, already worrying, already late in his mind. Even when the clock said he had time. Owen was not a bad man. He was not lazy. He was not weak. He was simply a man who had given the world permission to walk into his mind before he was ready for it. And the world, as it always does, had accepted that invitation every single day. Owen was 34. He worked as a project manager at a construction company. The job was demanding. The hours were long. His team needed him. His boss needed him. His clients needed him. Everyone needed Owen. And Owen, because he was the kind of man who hated to let people down, tried to be available to all of them. All the time. Even when he was home. Even when he was eating. Even when his daughter was sitting across the table from him, waiting for him to look up from his phone. Her name was Lily. She was 6 years old. She had recently stopped asking him to play. Because she had learned, in the quiet way that children learn painful things, that the answer would always be, just a minute. And the minute never came. Owen's wife, Sandra, said nothing for a long time. She was patient. She understood the pressure. But one evening she said something small that Owen could not stop hearing. She said, "You are always here, Owen. But you are never present." He did not answer her. He looked at his phone instead. He hated himself for it the moment he did it. But he did it anyway. Because reacting had become the only thing he knew. On a Friday in March, Owen had the worst day of his year. 3 problems arrived before 9 in the morning. A supplier canceled without warning. A client called, angry, loud, unreasonable. A team member made a mistake that cost the project half a day. Owen reacted to all 3. Fast. Loud. Badly. He sent a message to his team that was harder than it needed to be. He said things to the client that were true but not helpful. He fixed the supplier problem, but in a way that created 2 smaller problems that he would have to fix the following week. By 5 in the evening he had handled everything. But nothing felt handled. He sat in his car outside his house for 11 minutes. Before he could bring himself to go inside. He looked at himself in the rearview mirror. He did not recognize the man looking back. Not because he looked different. Because the man in the mirror looked exhausted. In a way that sleep would not fix. What Owen did the next morning changed something in him that 3 years of hard work never could. Stay with me, because the change did not look like a change at all. It looked like almost nothing. And that is exactly why it worked. He woke at 5:43 on Saturday. Not from an alarm. From habit. From the body that had been trained to wake up anxious. His hand moved toward his phone. He stopped. He did not stop because of a book he had read. He did not stop because of a plan he had made. He stopped because he was tired. Not sleepy tired. Tired in the deep place. The place that does not recover from one good night. He put the phone on the other side of the bed. He sat up. He walked to the kitchen. He boiled water. He made tea. He sat at the kitchen table and looked out the window at the early morning sky. Gray and pale and completely quiet. He did not open anything. He did not check anything. He did not plan anything. He just sat. For 20 minutes he sat with his tea and his breathing. And the sound of the house still sleeping around him. And something strange happened in those 20 minutes. His chest, which had been tight for so long he had stopped noticing, began to loosen. His mind, which was always 3 steps ahead in someone else's crisis, began to slow. And for the first time in a very long time, a thought arrived that belonged only to him. Not a task. Not a problem. Not a reply. Just a thought. I want to take Lily to the park today. Simple. Small. His. He wrote it on a piece of paper and put it on the table like a promise. He did not become a different man that Saturday. He still checked his phone, but later. He still had problems at work, but he waited before he reacted to them. He still felt the pull of every urgent message. But he began to notice the pull before he answered it. And that noticing, that small gap between the feeling and the action, was everything. Because in that gap, Owen could choose. And choosing, even badly, even imperfectly, felt entirely different from reacting. He took Lily to the park that afternoon. He left his phone in his jacket. She went down the slide 4 times. She asked him to push her on the swing. He pushed her for so long his arms got tired. She laughed, a real laugh, the kind that comes from the belly. The kind that 6-year-olds give freely. To people who are actually there. Owen felt something move in his chest. Not pain this time. Something older and simpler than pain. That evening Sandra asked him what had changed. He said, I stopped letting the day start without me. She looked at him for a moment. Then she sat down beside him and put her hand on his. She did not say anything. She did not need to. Owen still has hard mornings. He still has days when the phone wins. He still has moments when he sends a message before he should. And feels it the moment the message leaves his hand. But he has the quiet mornings now too. Enough of them to know what they give him. 20 minutes before the world begins. Tea. Breathing. One thought that belongs only to him. A small piece of the day that no one else has put a claim on. He did not take his life back in one dramatic moment. He took it back in 20 minutes on a gray Saturday morning. While his family slept and the sky was still deciding what color to be. If you are always reacting, always behind before the day begins. This is not a story about waking up early. It is a story about the small quiet gap between what happens to you and what you decide to do about it. Owen found that gap at 5:43 on a Saturday. You can find it any morning you decide to look. If this story stayed with you, subscribe to Tales for Thought. I share one simple story every week in clear English. About a small choice that quietly changes a life. Tomorrow morning, before the phone, before the noise, before the world begins. Sit. Breathe. Have one thought that belongs only to you.